Welcome to this video. In today's topic, I want to go over day trading for beginners. So in this video, I'm going to give you 10 tips to help you become a better day trader, especially if you're just starting out. This is going to be very helpful to you because I am a beginner trader. I've been trading for about 1 month now at the time of recording this video, so I'm still in that beginner phase, and all the beginner mistakes that I have made and the insights that I have found valuable are still fresh in my mind. So I want to share that with you right now, as I know it will help you on your journey. Alright, so let's go on to tip number 1. And tip number 1 is to be serious. So it's important to have the correct mindset when going into trading. If you approach trading as just a little thing that you are trying out, you will not get the results that you want. Understand that this is a real thing that you can build your life around. Having good trading skills means you can improve your income potential and the value you can offer to the people around you. It also means that you have the ability to earn whenever you need to. Now, the same way you take your job or relationship seriously is the same way you should take trading seriously. I would actually say to even take trading more seriously, especially when it comes to day trading or swing trading, whatever trading you're doing, you have to take it seriously. And lastly, try to understand this is the best way to earn. Trading stocks, cryptocurrencies, forex, or anything you like. It's a viable and long-term option that you can actually build your life around, you can depend on for years to come, and developing the trading skills or the skills of trading will provide you with value that you can pass on to future generations. Alright? So, tip number 2, don't trade alone. So, to be successful at trading, you will need experience from real trades. So, just reading books or watching people on YouTube won't cut it. In fact, I just watched a video on YouTube where a guy claiming to be a millionaire trader was giving out very poor advice. And you're not going to learn to trade just by reading books or just watching random people on YouTube. And you're going to realize this once you start executing your trades. You need real experience. And there are 2 ways to get the experience you need. The first is trial and error and learning over time. So, in my estimation, it will take you about 3 years of trial and error and doing it on your own to actually become excellent at trading. The second option is to get a mentor or to trade with a group of experienced people with a track record of success. Now, I'm a part of the 100 Network trading community, and I would highly recommend that you check them out to get the guidance you need. You can click the first link in the description to learn more about this community. So just a little insight. So I've been trading with the 100 Network since August 17th, 2024. This is where I learned to trade. This is where I learned all the fundamentals of trading. I learned what to trade, how to trade, when to trade, why to trade, and where to trade, right? And it's an amazing community that's hosted on Discord. There are several thousand members in this community, and the results are amazing. I have done a complete walkthrough of the 100 community so that you can see what it's all about in the video that's popping up on your screen right now. So you can go ahead and check that video out. And you can also click the first link in the description to learn more about my journey and to actually join that community. Alright, so don't trade alone. That's tip number 2. Let's go on to tip number 3. So you absolutely need to understand the platform you are trading on before you take a trade. You need to know their rules and how their system works to stay compliant. You also need to know how to properly configure your system so that you execute your trades quickly. Now, to do this, you should go through all the training videos from the library of the platform you plan to trade on. For me, that is Think or Swim. So that's the platform I trade on. And you also want to practice before live trading, and you want to ask a ton of questions, especially if you can do this via live chat, right? So don't take anything for granted, read and ask questions. That's what I had to do, and I realized that I was making a few mistakes. I didn't really understand the platform. I didn't really understand some of the trading terminologies and just some of the rules and stipulation of the platform that I was using. And thankfully, I was able to reach out to their support to gain clarity. Otherwise, I would have broken their terms of condition, and I would have been trading poorly and on my way to blowing my account, right? So lastly, make sure that you vet the platform you intend to use thoroughly. Oftentimes, you are required to sign up with a lot of personal details, so you have to ensure you are working with trustworthy entities that have a good track record and intend to be around for a long time, as trading is a lifelong skill. So tip number 4 is to find your style of trading. Now, there are many different ways to trade. You can use the break and retest method, break and hold above. You can look for different patterns like bull flags or bearish or bullish pin bars on a line of support, and so on. Most successful traders have their own styles of trading, and they like to execute on these styles of trading each day. They focus on their favorite high probability setups, and they don't trade unless they see these opportunities. They also have a few stocks that they specifically like to trade, and they won't run around trading every shiny object. So identify your trading style and the specific ticker or stock or commodity that you like to trade, and stick with that. And as time goes along, you'll refine your trading style, and you'll add to it, you'll take away from it, and you'll add more commodities, more stocks, or if you're trading cryptocurrencies or forex or currencies, you'll find more of what you like to trade and more of the style of trading that you like. But you have to ensure that you're not just trying to trade like you see everyone else trading. You're trading with what resonates with you and what you are good at. And for me, I trade stocks, right? And my favorite stock to trade is SPY. I very much like to trade SPY because I kind of understand the price action on that particular stock, and I like to trade, how do I say this? Like, I see the price moving into an area of support. I like to trade, like, let's say the price falls to a certain point, I like to trade the bounce, or I like to trade the reject, right? So if it gets to a certain point, I say, okay, it's going to bounce from here or it's going to reject from here. So that's my personal trading style that I like to use, and I like to trade SPY. So you want to find your own trading style and the specific item or commodity that you like to trade. All right, and refine it as you go along. Now, tip number 5, take fewer trades. Now, when it comes to day trading, it's easy to get caught up in FOMO and spend your day chasing down every trade. That's a sure way to leave you burnt out and to blow your account. Now, instead of taking every single trade that's available per day, decide beforehand exactly how much you want to spend on each trade and the maximum number of trades per day. In my view, if you're taking more than 4 trades per day, 5 at the maximum, you're definitely overdoing it. All right? So just trade a few trades and then move on with your life. All right. Now, tip number 6, you need to practice good risk management. Now, this is the 6th item on the list, but it's actually the most important aspect of trading. You need the correct patience, discipline, and a winning trading system, as well as excellent risk management if you're going to be successful trading. Now, risk management, in my view, is simple. You need to know how much you're comfortable losing and don't go beyond that point. And you also need to know how much you will be satisfied winning and don't go beyond that. For me, I have a stop loss at 20%. If I lose that amount, I'm out of the trade. And vice versa. If I gain 30% profits, I'll take that and call it a day. Sometimes I'll even take 20% profits. The point is not to lose too much that is going to knock you out of the game, and don't be greedy so that you miss your opportunities and you lose out on your gains. A common mistake that beginners tend to make when day trading is that, so they're watching the trade, they enter a trade, they're watching it, they see the price or the value of their contracts go up, and let's say it's around 10, 20, 30%, and they don't take their profits. They think, oh, it's going to keep going up, it's going to keep going up. And then the trade reverses on them, they lose all their profits, they panic sell for a loss. Or they see the trade going against them, right? And they're losing 10, 20%. And now it's at 30%. And they're like, no, it's gonna come back in my favor. So I'm not gonna get out of this trade. Next thing you know, it's at 50%, and then they sit down waiting for an opportunity to regain some of the money that they've lost. Then it's at 60%, and then they just give up and they end up losing all of the money that they entered in that trade. And that's common mistakes that beginners make, even experienced traders make actually. And it's just about managing your emotions. So you definitely want to have good risk management and be disciplined about it. Regardless of how you feel, you have to stick to your risk management plan. Alright? So for me, as I said, if I lose 20% on a trade, unless like something special is happening on that day, as soon as I lose that amount, I'm out of the trade. I call that a bad trade, and I say, okay, let's move on with my life. One bad trade is not going to define me. Then, if I get to 20% profits or 30% profits at most, this is just a basic level. Let's say 30% profits at most, I'm going to take some of my profits there. If I have multiple contracts, I'll just take some of my profits there and I'll just leave the remaining contracts to see how it goes, and I'll set a stop loss so that I know where I'm defining my risk, right? So take your profits and cut your losses. All right, so that's tip number 6. Let's have a look at tip number 7, which is learn how to back test. Now, trading is a learning process. You have to understand what happened in the market, as well as why you were successful or unsuccessful with a trade. To do this, you should dedicate some time each day to analyze what happened in each of your trades, or just the market in general. This will help you become better at chart reading and price analysis, and it will also help you recognize patterns and how the market moves. Now, the worst thing you can do as a trader is to not learn what you did wrong or what you did right. So what I like to do is pull up my TradingView account and just basically go back through the price analysis and take a look at the trades that I took and what was happening in the market with the price analysis for that particular stock at that particular time. I like to draw my levels and see where the price is moving to and moving from, and how it reacted once it reached to a certain level. And then I like to pull up my trading account to see how I reacted at that particular time and how I traded, and was it a good trade, was it a bad trade, and what could I have done better. I also like to analyze or backtest my trades on the 5-minute chart, the 1-hour chart, and the 4-hour chart. But I like to just analyze it on these different time frames to see exactly what's going on and see how I traded and what did I do wrong, what did I do right. And I also like to, as I'm a part of the Honey Drip Network, and again, you can click the link in the description below to learn more about that community and possibly join it. I like to learn from the admins, learn from the other members as well, see their trades, see what they did right, and so on. So that's the value of being a part of a community. All right, so let's jump over to the next tip, tip number 8. So tip number 8 is to study market news. Now, it's important to learn what big events are happening on each market day, and you need to know what situations are affecting the stocks you like to trade and the market in general. If you want to be a pro trader, you will have to get familiar with different news sources, market calendars, and so on. You'll also have to do your research on different events like government tax cuts and so on. This will help you to understand how these events typically move the market. All of this will help you to better plan your trades and to avoid trading or trading poorly on certain volatile days. Alright, let me show you where you can get some market news now. So one of my favorite tools to stay on top of news and what's going on in the market is the economic calendar. So it's just us.econoday.com, this website right here, and it basically gives you a list of all the important events that is happening each market day to help you understand what news is coming out and what potentially could affect your trading. So for example, on Wednesday, September 18th, we had this event here at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, FOMC announcement. Now this was basically an announcement from the federal government in terms of what they're going to do with interest rates. And this had a major impact on the price action on that day. Let me actually go back and see if I can show you this on TradingView. Alright, so this is Wednesday, September 18th. And you can see here that there was major price action taking place here. So the market opened here at 9:30, right? 9:30 on September 18th, and it was just moving down a little bit. And then as it came closer to 2 p.m., which is when the FOMC alert was going to be given out, you started seeing the price rising up in anticipation for this. And then right around 2 p.m. when the news was given out, this is what happened. It jumped from here all the way up here. So that's like a new all-time high. So that's like a almost an $8 move, which let's say you bought some stocks here or contracts here for SPY, anticipating that the price would go up. You would have made easily 10,000% here. On the other hand, if you had bought in anticipation for the price to go down, you would have lost all of your money. And for the rest of the day, we just see big price action with the price going up and the price going down quite drastically. And this would have actually been a good day for traders, for day trading, if you knew what you were doing, right? So that's how the FOMC news affected the market. But if you did not know that this news was coming out, you didn't know about this at all, you would have been in trouble, right? So that's one of my resources for news. Another tool that I like to use is investing.com. It gives you a total, complete analysis of all the different markets, and there's just so much value that you can gain from this website, and it helps you a lot. And it also has a economic calendar as well that you can follow. It also has a earning calendar. We also have the Market Watch website here, marketwatch.com, which you want to go through these websites, you want to navigate, you want to know what's going on in the stock market, and this is another resource that I like to use for that. We also have different resources like Yahoo Finance and so on. And again, inside of the 100 Drip Network, we do have a pre-market webinar each morning which explains everything that's going to happen on a particular day or for the entire week or month ahead, so that you understand, if you don't have the time to do research on your own, you understand what's going to happen in the market and you can plan your trades accordingly. So again, tap into the 100 Drip Network and you get all of this taken care of for you. Another thing that I like to look at is my TradingView heat map. So the heat map basically gives you an overview of what all of the different stocks in the different sectors are doing. So you can just come here quickly and get a quick glance to see which sector is performing strongly and which sector is performing poorly. So for example, we can take a look at the finance sector here, and we see that most of the stocks here are in red, which means that their prices are trending down, and that will inform us that, hey, this sector seems to be weak. Let me take a look at the economic calendar or investing.com and see what's going on in the finance sector and what's making all of the stocks so weak on this particular day. And based on the information I can find there, I can plan whether I want to short the market or whether I want to be bullish on the market, right? So that's tip number 8. Be on top of news, on top of what's going on in the market, and use that to plan your trades as well. All right, so let's move on to tip number 9. All right, rule number 9, the 20% rule. This is my second to last tip, and it's very simple. You never want to trade with more than 20% of your total trading money, right? So let's say you have $10,000 to trade with in total. You never want to trade with more than 20% of this per day or $2,000. Then you only want to use 20% of that $2,000 per trade or $500 per trade. So at max, you'll be taking 5 trades per day, $500 per trade. You'll accept 20% profits on each of those trades or $100. And if all of your trades go well, you make $500 per day. On the flip side, you want to have a 20% stop loss, which means if you lose more than 20% on any of these trades, you're going to call it a day and exit that trade. All right. So for me, this is the strategy that I like to use. So if I get up 20%, I'm satisfied with that. And if I lose 20%, I call that a day. But I'm never trading with more than 20% of my total trading account, right? And the purpose of this is to ensure that I can stay in the game even if I have a few bad trades, right? And patience is the key. Trading is a long-term thing, right? It's not about getting rich tonight. It's about being in the game and making successful trades consistently on a long-term basis. So in 5 years, in 10 years, if you've been successful for that time, there's no reason why you can't have 8 figures in your bank account, right? So in the event that you lose a trade, you never want to revenge trade. You want to take a breath, walk away for a few minutes, then continue with your trading plan. Revenge trading is basically you lost and you just feel overwhelmed by emotions and you just decide that I have to win. I have to win to make back all of the money that I just lost. And then you just rashly go into another trade, letting your emotions guide you. And this is a sure way to burn up your account and lose all of your money. Alright? And you also want to learn to size correctly. Don't buy all of your contracts at once. Now, let's say you have $1,000 to buy contracts with or buy commodities with. You don't want to spend all that $1,000 at your entry point. You want to go in, let's say 20%, so $200, get some contracts or get some, whatever you're trading, get some commodities. I trade stocks, I trade options, and I call the options that I trade contracts, right? We trade options, contracts. So I just go in and I get some contracts with $200, right? And then let's say the price becomes more favorable than my entry point, but I didn't spend all of my money at once, so I have more money to add to my position. So I will add another 20%, and then let's say a third time the price becomes more favorable again, I can go ahead and add another 60%, and I have 3 different ads, and that would be good for me to get in at the best price. And also, when I'm taking my profits, so let's say I get the 20% profits, I don't have to sell all of my contracts at once, right? I can just take some of the contracts. Let's say I take 20% of the contracts to take 20% of the profits from there, and then I have some runners left that will possibly gain more profits over time if the price action continues to go more favorably my direction, right? So let's say it gets to 30% profit now. Then I'll again take some more profits. And then let's say it gets 40%, I'll say, okay, I'm satisfied with total 40%, and I'll take my final profits there. So sizing correctly is about knowing when to add to your position and when to get out of your position. Alright, so that's tip number 9 for you. Use the 20% rule, never revenge trade, trade your plan, and learn to size correctly. Alright, so now let's go over to tip number 10, which is my final tip, and is to manage your emotions. Simply put, be happy, be confident, and don't let the emotions get the best of you. Now, there isn't a single successful trader anywhere in the world that is unhappy, miserable, pessimistic, or negative. You have to be happy, you have to be confident, and you have to actually believe in what you're doing and be purposeful and intentional with your trading. Trading doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care about your religion. It doesn't care where you're from. It doesn't care about your skin color. It doesn't care about your age or your sexual orientation. It doesn't care about any of that. It doesn't care about your political views. The only thing that matters when it comes to trading is if you actually know how to trade and you have a systematic winning plan of trading. Alright, so as long as you know how to trade and you have a plan of action that helps you to win your trades, you will do well. So believe in yourself, be happy, and know that this is a long-term thing, a viable option to build your life around. Alright, so we've come to the end of this video now, and I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned a lot from this video, and that it will help you on your trading journey. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm happy to answer. Also, do like, share, and check out my previous videos to support the channel. Lastly, to join the Honey Drip Network and trade with me, visit the first link in the description. I highly recommend you do this if you want to be a part of a community with really excellent traders and you want to learn and earn at the same time. Now, apply all of the tips that I provided for you here in this video, and it will help you to overcome most of the common mistakes of beginners traders, and it will help you to become just a more refined trader. Now, all the best and happy trading. It was a pleasure.